My countdown messed up. I don't know why that happened. That's what happens when you don't have your engineer here. My sister is still out of town, so usually she handles all that behind the scenes, but that's okay. We are live and in action. We're gonna go right at it and right into it. I'm your man, Coach Block, and this is the First and Goal 365 podcast. And as always, the purpose of this podcast is to shine light on student athletes and also to give parents and guardians and all that good stuff some of the information behind the scenes that you don't necessarily get when you just look for it or when you ask coaches. Not everything is always available. Not everything is always out there. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of digging. So this is the #1 podcast to give parents and players the information that they need so that their students can succeed both on the field and off the field. So today, what we got, so you guys can know a little bit about what's going on, we're going to have 3 gentlemen again. So we're going to always highlight some type of athlete. It doesn't always have to be football because we're going to keep this going when football season is not in. But right now we are in football season. So we're going to have 3 football players that we're going to highlight, just like we did last time, coming from all different schools. We have Kenneth Dula coming from Jordan Matthews. We have Noah Terry coming from Cardinal Gibbons, and we have Cameron Melvin coming from Clevelnd High School. All 3 gentlemen play different positions. So we're going to get an opportunity to meet who they are off the field, because that's important. So the questions that myself and coach kind of ask are questions that they would get when they go inside of the recruitment room or in the room with the recruiter and have to deliver when parents aren't there. Because a lot of times coaches will show up at school when the parents aren't there to be the mouthpiece, and that young man has to be able to, as y'all say, stand 10 toes down and be able to answer those questions because they're looking to see the maturation of an athlete. So first, I'm going to bring in Coach Ed Brooks, who will be helping me out with the interviews and also helping me out with the show today. What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Coach Block. Always good to get with you and chop it up with these kids and try to help them get recruited.
Yes, sir. Likewise. It's always good to see you. So we found 3 good gentlemen this week. You found 3 good gentlemen this week, and we're going to get into the first interview, which I think is going to be a great young man. I got a chance to watch his highlight tape. Very rangy, but I'll let you introduce who he is, and then I'll bring him up.
Okay, we have the first prospect is Kenneth Dula. He's a DB at Jordan Matthews High School. He's a very talented defensive back. I've worked with him, observed him in several of our camps, and he's a legit DB that can play at the D1 level as well as the other levels. He's a talented. I think he's been clocked at a 4.40, which is a plus mark for a DB.
Absolutely. So we're going to bring Mr. Kenneth Dula up. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
I cannot complain, man. It's good to see you, and thank you for being a part of the show.
Of course, no problem.
So the first thing that I usually get into with everybody is tell us a little bit about yourself, first starting with your GPA.
My GPA as right now is a 2.6.
Good. Okay, good. As long as we're over that 2.5, we can work. So tell us a little bit about yourself off the field. So we know who you are on the field. Tell us a little bit about who you are off the field.
Off the field, I'm still that hard-working person. I stay on top of my work. I'm kind-hearted. I'm listening. I'm easy to hang around with. And, I just do me off the field too.
Good. Now, like I said, I like to give questions that are similar to what a recruiter would say inside the room talking to you. So my first question is going to be, tell me what your coach would tell me about you. So what do you think your coach would say about you and why I should recruit you?
I think he would tell you that I'm hardworking. I'm very dedicated. I listen. I'm captain. I rode that way. And, I get along with the team and stuff like that.
Okay.
Also, I'm good in school too. And that's nothing he really got to worry about.
So as a captain, because you mentioned that, tell me 3 leadership skills that you show as a captain for your team on the field and off.
I'm gonna respect. I make sure they're on the A game, good in school, good in grades, and also make sure that they stay out of trouble as a captain.
Good. Coach, you got something before I keep going? Because you know me, I'll keep rolling.
No problem, Ken. What is your current GPA?
2.6 as of right now.
What's your current GPA?
Oh, you said 2.6.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what schools have interest in you for recruiting purposes?
Most schools that had interest in me is like Gardner Webb, Guilford. I got some looks by what A&T, I think, and Elon.
Right.
Mercer too.
Okay.
Mercer
Sounds
University.
good.
Okay. So tell us, what is the one school that, or what is some of the qualities of a school that you're looking for?
I'm looking at a school that's deep into business too. So
Mm-hmm.
in a good program, community, something that has my business that I'm looking to, and a good team to play with and to be around.
Okay. Well, so ideally, what major would you be thinking about majoring in?
Probably marketing.
Marketing. Okay. What about marketing do you like?
I just, it's always been a way. It's always been like my first go-to since
Okay.
I've been a little child. That's always what's been in my mind, kind of.
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little ball if we can. So you play DB and you play wide receiver. Which one do you like better?
DB.
You like DB better. Okay, so who do you model your game after right now? What guys are you looking up to in college and in the pros?
Before it was Nate Wiggins. College now, Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball. That's definitely something I look up to.
Okay. Is that something that you would like to do in college as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Now, tell me about, we want to talk a little bit football IQ wise. Tell me some coverages that you like and why you like them, and then tell me some that you don't like and why you don't like them.
I mean, there's not really a lot of coverages I don't like because at the end of the day, I just got to try to get my task done. But my favorite, of course, would probably be man-to-man,
Okay.
And cover 2.
And
then I also say cover 3 too. I like getting over top. It's easier.
Okay. How tall are you again?
I am 5'10".
Okay. Have you ever thought of, or not even thought, when we say DB, that is all of them. So do you have the abilities to play safety, corner? Can you move around, or which one do you prefer out of the two, out of safety, strong safety, or corner?
Honestly, I was thinking about moving to safety because I can scan the whole field and crash down, cover on top. That's all I need to.
Okay. Coach, you got something?
No, we're good.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I don't want to steal the microphone off y'all.
No, we good.
So tell us in the community right now, tell us some of the things that you are involved in, if you aren't, or some things, if you're not specifically involved in some things in the community, tell us what you would like to do in the community or what you would like to see going on in your community on a positive note.
Honestly, as a community, I would wish like we all just came together, spend more time, build a better bond with each other. Maybe we could do something like picking up trash or help with donation as a community, something like that.
Okay. Cool. Now, what coaches or what coaching style do you gravitate to? Because that's a big part of recruiting, is knowing the coach and having a relationship with the coach. I mean, it's business when we're on the field, but off the field, you spend more time with your coach and your team than you do anybody else. So what type of coach do you like, and what are you looking for in a coach for college?
I want a coach that makes sure I'm on my A game at all times, always on. If I'm wrong, the one to yell, get him on, tell me what I need to fix so I can correct it on the next play.
Good. You took my next question. So we always talk about the positives, of course, because that's what we do. And in sport that's ego driven, we always want to make sure we have our best foot first. But what coaches will do is they will dissect your film to find out where you may have, some work on areas. So right now, going into college, what are some areas that you need to work on to say that you would be that top tier athlete ready to start right now? So like say over the summertime, what is it that you want to work on so that by the time you're a freshman year, you can compete for a position to start?
I'm most definitely saying like, get more use of my hip openings and being quicker with my feet.
Okay. Cool. That's good. So now tell the people how they can get in contact with you, how they can follow you, and let us know about your next game.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram by 7star.ken. And I think my Twitter is like Kenneth Dula or something like that.
Okay.
Kenneth Dula 5 is my Twitter. Excuse me.
All right. And then who do you got? Who's your next opponent? Who you got next?
We got Bartlett Yancey next, I believe.
Oh, you got Bartlett Yancey?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. When I was at Enloe, Bartlett Yancey was our first win. So go ahead and get that off of them. I competitively, I ain't got no love lost there against Bartlett Yancey. So thank you for being a part, man. Give us one last thing for the people, man. Here it is. This is my last question. Why should I recruit you?
You should recruit me because I'm somebody that's not gonna let you down. If you give me this opportunity, I'm gonna make the best out of it and try to go my farthest with it. You know.
Cool, man. I appreciate you being here, man. And as Coach always says, we're a part of your process. So you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Coach. Anything that we can do to help, just let us know, and we'll be keeping our eye on you. So we wish you the best of luck, sir, and good luck next week on your game.
All right. Take care, Kenny.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm out for the season, the rest of the season.
Okay.
Of my dislocated shoulder.
All right.
But I ended off the season, still without giving up any passes.
Yeah. So do you play any other sports?
I play basketball and track.
Okay. So will you be ready for basketball, or will you just be holding off until it's time for track?
Holding off until it's time for track.
Okay, that's good. So now tell us real quick, because if a coach watches this, they can get a chance to see you at track, which is important. So for those who don't know, track times are just as important as a 40-yard dash. So if you run the 100 or the 200 or the 4x1, I'm just letting you guys know that the moment a college coach hears you run track, the first thing he wants to know is what's his 100, what's his 200. So I'm not going to ask you your times, but you will be ready specifically for outdoor track this spring, correct?
Of course.
Definitely. So coaches, make sure you still get an eye out there. What are the events that we can look out for you running?
This year, I'll probably be in a 100, 200, 4x1, 4x2, 4x4, 400.
Oh, you there all day.
Yeah, I'm right. Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So coaches, make sure you still go check Kenneth out for a track. And then when you stop in and holler at him, just talk to him. When did your injury happen?
This happened 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Practice on a Monday.
Okay. Any surgery that's needed or nah?
No, I still got to get my MRI. So I guess we'll see after that.
Okay, cool. So keep your head up, man. It's going to be all right. Make sure you knock out track, because that's when the recruiters come back anyway. So don't trip on it right now. I promise you, they double back when track time comes, because they want to know those track scores. So make sure you get ready to train for track and do your best, brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, man. Thank you for being here.
Man. Of course.
All right, man. Peace.
All right.
It's a good young man. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to, the honesty of, hey, I got an injury right now. Right. A lot of people wouldn't have said that. Then a coach find out, and then it's bad.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Be straightforward is the best way to go.
You always want to be transparent with a coach, because they're going to find out anyway. So anybody who thinks you can hide it, nah, you can't. You can't hide it. So it's always best to be straightforward. So the young man that we have coming up next, we're going to keep it rolling, is at Clevelnd High School. Clevelnd High School is they just flat out some dogs year after year. They're producing talent, they're coaching up talent, and I actually got an opportunity to train this gentleman and also coach against this gentleman.
Right.
And I would say that he is 100% certified dog. So I'm going to bring him on in, Mr. Cameron Melvin. How you doing, sir?
Great.
What's up, Cam? How's it going?
You good?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. Good to see you. Always looking good. Always looking good.
Yes, sir.
Who'd you guys play last night?
Fuquay.
What was the score?
40. I don't know the exact score. I forgot.
A lot to a little, huh? A lot to a little.
It was 40-something to 20-something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. So y'all still rolling undefeated.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. So now tell us what's your tell us a little bit about who you are, what you play, where you play, and then also give us your GPA.
I play at Clevelnd High School. I play D-line and linebacker, versatile. I'm a great person on and off the field. I'm a hard worker on and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
My GPA is a 3.38.
Okay. Good. Now, what would you be interested in? Not in majoring in. Excuse me. What would you be interested in majoring in?
That's a good question. I haven't got into that yet.
You haven't got into it? Okay.
Sure.
So, what type of school do you think fits you?
As in football or academics wise?
You can give me both.
I don't know if I can answer the school wise because I don't know what I'm getting into yet.
Mm-hmm.
But football wise, I I just need like a great school that's gonna develop me into like a man, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and work with me, help me get to the next level.
Okay, cool. So currently, has any schools been to Cleveland to see you? And then if you have any potential offers, what are they?
I have 2 offers as of right now. I have
Okay.
Bowling Green in North Texas.
Okay.
Schools that have came and visit, Elon, Penn State, Charlotte, what else? Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you want to stay in state or do you want to go out of state?
It don't matter to me. I do either or.
Okay. Now, one thing that following you, we've worked together, and I got a chance to see you play outside of the state. You
Yes,
had
sir.
the opportunity to go to Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
So tell me the difference, and you can be just as candid as you want to be. This is a safe space to be honest. Tell me the difference of what you experienced in Texas versus what you experienced here in North Carolina.
Texas, I ain't gonna lie, way more bigger boys, way more like they play faster, they play harder. But I ain't gonna bash North Carolina. They still do their thing. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
there's a big difference though.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked you that question is because sometimes players get stuck in thinking that their little piece of the world is the only place where college coaches are recruiting, and you have a lens now of what it looks like somewhere else. So now you can bring that back and say, well, I know there's some boys out there working like this, so to be on the radar, I gotta do X, Y, Z.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you want to play in college?
Can you say that again, sir? I couldn't hear you.
What position do you want to play in college?
I want to play edge so bad. So
Okay. Coach, you got anything?
Well, that's what I was one of the questions I was going to ask, because I know he lines up at 2 different positions.
Mhm.
Cam, what the schools that are expressed interest, what position are they recruiting you for?
they are recruiting me at linebacker, but some do wait to see where my height is going because they see my dad. My dad's 6'5", and they like wonder if I'm gonna get that growth spurt and get the height. So some of them are waiting off and seeing where the height goes, but mostly I'm getting recruited as linebacker.
Okay.
Inside
So,
linebacker.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So Cam, tell me this, because I'm interested, because Cleveland is an automatic playoff team. We know that Cleveland's going to make the playoffs. That's one of those things. How do you guys remain consistent in being able to just dominate week in and week out?
It really start from our coach. Like our coach, he on us. He on our backs every day.
Mm-hmm.
He watch film. He stay up watch film all the time. Like he on us about watching film. The the game plan and what's your assignment. So that's really all it is. Like, and we gotta that's really it for real.
Okay. How much film do you watch a week to
We
prepare for your opponent?
Speaking of that, we got like these little notes, these papers, like,
Mhm.
and it's like we gotta get the teachers to sign off on them. And it's like, do they stay on task in class? My teacher had wrote a note on there. She was like, no, because he be watching film. And that's literally what I do in class. Like when I'm doing my work, I'm watching film in class.
Yeah. But that's okay, because you have a 3-point what GPA?
3.38.
3.38, because that's important, because sometimes you'll have players who don't have the GPA and then they're still watching film. We don't want that. You
Yes,
want to make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do and watching film.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So now, how can people follow you? Tell us how they can get in touch with you if a coach is watching. What's the best way to get in contact with you?
Email, my Twitter, Cameron Melvin 26. My number is under my bio too in the Twitter, so it ain't hard to find me.
Good. Now, last question. Just like I asked Kenneth, I'm a recruiter, and we're sitting in the room, and Coach Brooks and I, we already got all the information, so everything is in front of us. But we want to hear, why should we recruit you?
Why should you recruit me?
Yep.
I'm a dog on and off the field. in the classroom, on the field, anywhere. I'm a great person on and off the field. And I can just line up wherever you want me. I'm gonna do what you ask of me. I'm disciplined. I'm humble, and I'm gonna get the job done at the end of the day.
That's it. That's all we need to hear. So, Coach, you got anything before we close out?
Cam, how deep you think you guys gonna make a run this year in the playoffs?
We're gonna make it far. I got confidence.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And because I see you lifting all the time, let the coaches know and the people who are watching know how much you bench and how much you squat, because that's important.
My squat, 520. My bench, 350. Hang clean, I think I ended off 305.
Okay. Good. Well, keep grinding, man. Good luck for the rest of your season. Because I'm not coaching against you, I can say good luck. And I hope that you guys go deep into the playoffs and possibly bring something on home.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
Stay in contact. All right. Take care.
Sir.
Peace.
Thanks. You too.
It's another young man as I've watched and had the luxury of being able to work with him. He's nonstop working and doesn't say much, just does what you ask. I think those are great qualities of a potential player, because right now everybody wants to be divas, and he definitely does not have that in him whatsoever. So, if anybody's out there watching, please make sure you give him a shot. Give him a shot. He's going to have the growing spurt because, like he said, his dad is 6'5", so he's going to get a spurt, and he has the shoe size for it. So when you look at his feet, you can see that he's going to grow into those feet. So if you're looking for that edge guy, he's going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we got one more before we get into Coach and I talking a little bit about, what's some of the latest news on in North Carolina, at least. It's other places, but definitely North Carolina, it kind of shocked me. But we're gonna get to that in a second. Our next student, our final student that we want to bring on is a running back from Cardinal Gibbons, and I had the luxury of actually working with this gentleman as well. Another hardcore, just work and doesn't complain. And when anybody works out with me, my goal was to try to see if I can get you to complain. I want to see where your threshold is. And he just kept working and working and working. So if you do go to First and Goal 365 at gmail.com, you will have the opportunity. First and Goal, you can go there, or you can go to First and Goal 365 on Instagram, and you can see the workout that he and I did. And as there's a lot of people, we got over 3,000 views. There's a lot of people that peeped it where they said this dude is a monster, and he is. So let's bring him up. His name is Noah Terry. What's going on, Noah? How you doing, man?
Hey, Coach.
How you doing, Noah?
Yeah, how are you,
good?
Coach? Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. So let's jump into this interview now. All right. So
Yes, sir.
first, tell us a little bit about who you are, and then also tell us what your GPA is.
I'm Noah Terry. I'm a junior at Cardinal Gibbons High School. My GPA is a 3.3 right as of right now. And I'm a good person on and off the field. Help out in my church and everything.
So the last time I seen you didn't have facial hair, man. So
Nah.
now all of a sudden you got some facial hair, man. You got a little beard on you, but good to see you, man. So tell us how it is at Cardinal Gibbons and what you're liking, and how's the field going on for you over there.
It's a great change. I was coming from New Jersey. Glad to be back home with my mom and everything. School is amazing. I love it. Accepted me when I first transferred in there, and outside of football, the academic standpoint is amazing out there. Even the social life, getting into different clubs and everything. Okay,
and so now, what's your strongest grade at this current time? Like, what's your highest grade, and what's the subject?
It's history, U.S. history.
Okay.
Right now of 97.
Okay, great. Now, with U.S. history or any of your classes, are any of those provoking you to possibly slide into, certain majors? Like, are you into politics or anything with the history, or what would you like to major in college?
Really, I'm a business management guy. I like distributing different sales and everything. Like, I'm a big clothing guy. I like to go shop and see what the prices are from different stores and everything. All right.
So now tell us because going from, you have an opportunity to, no different than Cam, you have an opportunity to see football outside of North Carolina. And just similar to Cam, like we're not bashing anything about North Carolina or any other football anywhere else, but it just gives you a perspective that other students that they don't have, meaning you get the chance to see other football players working just as hard as you in a whole nother state. So tell us a little bit about that experience and what you took and brought back to North Carolina.
It was very aggressive. Like the conference I was playing in, especially like it was very cold. The weather played a big part of it.
Okay.
Guys weren't training year round, so it's like we had a chip on our shoulder. Like there's other guys in different states training and everything. Outside right now, we're indoors and we got to find somewhere to train.
So that you just brought up a valid point. So being in North Carolina, one of the things that coming from up north that I found to be amazing is that football is pretty much played all year around, even with 7-on-7 and all that. So what did you do during the off season when you can't go outside because it's snowing or it's cold as I don't know what?
Me and my dad, we had to find an indoor facility and a guy that was free during the day. Like, hey, we need some RB work. We need some strength and conditioning work. It was hard traveling through the snow and everything, but we had to get it done.
Okay. So who do you model your game after? Who do you look up to in college and the pros?
Right now in college, Ashton Genty. He goes to Boise State, plays running back. I'm a big Ashton Genty fan. And pro, Saquon Barkley. I love Saquon.
So what about Saquon's game do you like?
I love his tempo to the hole, his patience, his yards after contact, how he sets the defender up and run past him. I just like how he could be decisive with his moves, especially him being a bigger back, running that fast and running hard as he is.
Right. And one thing I wanted to go ahead and touch on was that you are considered a big back because most, backs are smaller size, but you are considered a big back. But let the people know how much you bench, how much you squat, and even how much you deadlift.
Right now I'm benching 325. I squatted 505 and I deadlifted 510.
So now you're not just a big back that's sloppy. You're a big back that is solid, that can move.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell us. Let's talk football right now. Let's talk. Your favorite play and why. So I know because I've coached against Cardinal Gibbons before too. They run a lot of zone scheme. So tell us what your favorite play is and tell us why. Don't give us the name because I don't want coach to be mad at me, but just tell us the scheme.
I love outside zone, especially in the zone blocking because you have a two-way go. You can go outside or you can cut it up depending on where your blocker is going. Yeah.
And then so when you're looking to cut, what goes through your mind? So like as you're scanning and perusing the field, put me inside the helmet with you pre-snap. What are you looking at and what are you thinking?
I'm seeing if the linebacker's cheating over. I'm seeing, is he reading that I'm going outside? And so, like, if he comes down outside, I know I'm going to bounce it up and replace where he was filling the gap at.
Okay.
And if he gets caught in a wash with the D tackle and everything, I'm just follow my blocker and find the opening.
Can you catch? It's important for running backs to be able to catch out the backfield nowadays because passing is king, right? We hate that, but passing is king. But can you catch out the backfield?
Yes, sir. I'm not a one-dimensional back. I'm good blocker, pass catcher, and rushing. Yes, sir. I caught a wheel route for a 2-point conversion, so I showed I can catch the ball.
That's what's up. So
I don't like being put in a box. Like, oh, he's just a third down back. I'll just put him in third down. Be on the field off 3 downs.
That's good to hear. Now, tell us what type of school fits you, or what is your dream school, and then what type of school fits you? I'm sorry.
My dream school, Penn State. I'm a big Penn State fan.
Okay.
I love Penn State since I was younger. Yeah. And a school that would just have take a chance on me, develop me into a great person on the field and off the field, and just to correct my flaws if I have anything like to work on. I'm very coachable, so I want to know what I have to work on to be better.
Okay. And then so with that being said, that's usually one of my questions. We know your strengths, But as let's say you were about to go into your freshman year, no different than I asked the other gentleman, what's something that you need to work on or that you would like to work on to assure that you're competing for a starting job as a freshman?
Definitely improving my speed because going to the next level, I see a lot of guys, they're very fast. So just
Mhm.
being able to match my speed or become even faster, be
Okay.
out there in the play.
Okay, good. So tell the people how they can watch you, see you, give us your social media and all that good stuff, so that we can keep in contact with you.
My Instagram is Noah J Terry 8, and my Twitter is Noah J Terry 1.
Definitely. And who you got next?
Oh, we got Inla.
Yeah, you got.
Yes.
Hey man, go get that win for me, man. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
All right, that's what's
All
up. So thank you for being here. And once again, Coach, you got anything?
Yeah, no, I know you have a couple of offers.
Yes, sir.
What other schools are expressing the interest in you for recruiting purposes?
West Virginia, Boston College, and Penn State.
Gotcha.
Penn State.
Indiana is very. I've been talking to them a lot. They sent me a lot of mail.
Good.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, keep up the work, and we'll stay in contact.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And if my number's still the same, so if your dad, mom, anybody want to talk or anything that we can do to help you, please let us know, and I will be right there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My man.
Thank you
All right.
again.
Have a good weekend.
Take care.
You too.
All right,
yes, sir.
All right.
All right, Coach. Great young man right there, man.
Yes,
Great young man.
Yes.
And he works hard. So let's talk a little bit, Coach, about this information that has come out for North Carolina. And I want to get your opinion of how you think. You've been around the game for a long time. I've been around the game for a long time. And so many things are changing so fast. And one of the things that has changed that I think, I don't know how to take it quite yet is the fact that players in North Carolina are now in the fraternity of those who can get NIL money. So what do you think are some pros or some cons of this, man? Are you in agreement or no?
Well, I'm in agreement because when the private school athletic association approved for the private school kids to engage in NIL endorsements this year, was a little disappointed when the public schools didn't do the same. And it's only fair that both private and public kids have access to NIL money. And
Right.
I think this past week, a Wake County Superior Court judge approved immediately, as soon as he signs the order, for the public school kids to have access to NIL endorsements. And
Right.
I think, some kids, of course, the higher profile kids will be the ones that greatly possibility benefit from the NIL.
Absolutely.
They're not going to become rich on a high school level from it, but I think in most cases will help a lot of kids.
And so that's kind of what I wanted to jump into and let parents know, so they don't get disappointed. And the one thing I do see is that this is another opportunity for those who are top tier athletes to get an opportunity to get paid. Everybody is not going to get paid.
Absolutely.
One statistic that I've seen with all the student athletes that are eligible for NIL in the state of Georgia, only 45 students actually have NIL deals.
So that's a very low percentage.
It's very low
percentage. Number of high school athletes in the state of Georgia. That's
correct.
That's less than 1%.
Right. And that's what I need people to understand. And here in North Carolina, they did set some parameters around things that you're not just going to go out here and get a deal. So what I mean by that is you cannot have a collective or a booster club pay student athletes. Now, will it happen? Who knows? We'll see what's going to come down the road. But so if you are at Millbrook and somebody from Nightdale approaches you and says, "Oh, come over here and we'll pay you," and it's a collective of people who are paying you to do that, that's against the rule. So
absolutely,
that's one of those things. Also, if you're under the age of 18 You must have a parent or legal guardian. Submit that agreement to your principal, your athletic director, and it's up for review. So this is not something where all of a sudden it's just the wild, wild west as it is in college.
Right.
Also, some things that everybody needs to be aware of is it's also, you can't have your school uniform and all that stuff on whenever you're endorsing something. And what I read in the papers, you can't even really wear the school colors. Now, I don't know how that is going to pan itself out. We'll see as the road, gets paved with this, because right now it's definitely uncharted territory. But these are things that you need to have, be aware of. So, for example, there cannot be any NIL activity during sports competitions or other school-based activities or events. So the agents and all that stuff that are trying to creep out already. This includes wearing apparel with the logos, with the marks and the brands of a third-party entity in which a student has an NIL agreement. So you can't be out here as a billboard wearing whoever you have an NIL deal with at certain events. And then there's a list right here of the rules also prohibit student athletes from participating in NIL deals that involve the following: adult entertainment, alcohol, tobacco, vaping, any nicotine products, any cannabis products, any controlled substance, firearms, or anything like that. No gambling, so don't think you're going to get on any of that FanDuel or any of that stuff, and activities that would disrupt the operations of the school or the district. So basically, there's a lot of red tape. This is not as easy as it's going to be for the college students. But I do think parents need to be aware that you have to facilitate the actual deals. The school district is not doing that. Coaches can't do that for you. They can't bargain those things for you. But with me mentioning the coaches, how do you feel about coaches not being able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness? So coaches still can't do it, but the players can.
Well, that's a good question. I know at the collegiate level, if I'm not mistaken, the coaches can't make money off the NIL deals. Am I correct?
So they can't, but they can do things like host a camp. So, for example, Dave Doran's camp.
Right.
And now when we're paying that money to Dave Doran's camp, do we know where specifically it's going? And people don't kill me for saying like, or accuse me of saying Dave is taking money, but it is the Dave Doran camp. It's not the NC State football camp. You know what I mean? So,
right. Well, I think with the great disparity in the coaches' stipends across the state of North Carolina for the public schools, the coaches should be allowed to have camps in their names, because the stipend is low for most of these coaches across the state. And the having camps in their names would help with compensation, in my opinion. That's only fair.
And you know what? I agree. One of the hardest things it was for me as a head coach was, and what kind of made me upset was, when I was trying to have camps, I ran into roadblocks that I could not do it. And it's like, but a stipend, and I don't mind sharing it because I'm not a head coach any longer, but at the time I was only making $6,000 for an entire year. Now, when you think about how much you've invested in time, gas, driving,
especially now with the price of gas per gallon and the number that you put in each week, between film and practice, that $6,000 equates to very little per hour per week over the course of a season. Yeah.
And so the at least you can allow me to, make some money, having those camps and things like that at my school's facility. Like, even if you wanted to use your school's facility, you still have to pay rent to use the school, which a lot of parents don't know. It costs, if you wanted to do it, and which is still against the rules. If you wanted to do it, you can have a third party do it and do a camp. But then they would have to pay, here in North Carolina, something called community schools
Right.
And community schools runs that check up.
That's right. Absolutely. And you figure a coach host a couple of camps, you're not going to get rich hosting a couple of camps, but it will help with your operating expenses, traveling expenses.
Right. Yeah. At least let me get a sandwich, man.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I do see that's kind of fuzzy is, if some of these kids are going to, not even some, don't let out that's a lie. A few of these kids are going to get the opportunity to make some money into where now they may not have to work a summer job or something like that. And that's great. I do feel as though, the next thing is to kind of look at either giving the coaches more in their stipend or allowing them to earn more with their name, image, and likeness.
I agree absolutely, because it's my understanding that the assistant coaches in the state of South Carolina make their stipend is more than most head coaches in North Carolina, and it shouldn't be that great disparity.
Yes. Yes, they do, because most of the guys that you see in Charlotte, they get their start in Charlotte, and because it's a little closer to South Carolina, they just cross the border and go over there and coach.
Make considerable amount of more money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's unfair. That is totally unfair. So
it is.
My final word on that is, Ms. Tucker, let's go ahead on and open up them books.
Right.
Let's talk about the coaches being able to make a little bit more money as well.
I agree.
Okay. Now the next question I have, which you and I can probably talk about this all day, all afternoon, and it is the stars. You and I talk about stars and their relevancy this way or the third, but what I've noticed is here in North Carolina, we don't have very many stars. And there are players that I have seen that are more than worthy of stars. A name that comes to mind is a player that comes to mind is the Devon over at Roseville.
Right.
And if you look at him in Rivals, he has no stars, and that blows my mind that this young man doesn't have any star. He's a no star player. That's crazy. So my question to you, are stars still relevant? And what can we do in reference to, assuring that our players have the proper exposure?
Well, stars are still relevant to some of the larger Power 4 schools.
Mm-hmm.
The disparity in the lack of giving stars to the North Carolina players is grossly underrepresented. I've had this discussion the past 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like Devon Thomas,
mm-hmm.
He's clearly worthy of stars. He's clearly one of the top high school running backs, not only in the state of North Carolina, but in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But because for some reason the kids in North Carolina are still getting overlooked, under recruited on the national stage, and that's disgraceful to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't. Anybody looks at Devon Thomas, either his film or in person. I've seen him in film, in live performances over the past 3 years, and that's doing him an injustice as well as so many other kids.
Yes.
That should already have stars.
Correct.
And the only way I see to correct that is basically you would have to start your own recruiting organization and rank these kids, because in my dealings in the past, when I've reached out to the recruiting organizations that rank players on stars and send them profiles of kids to get them stars, you get no response.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the game they play, and that needs to stop.
Why
have contact information when you when you reach out to them and send players profiles? Crickets. And that's the game they play, and it's doing the kids across this state of great injustice. And that's been going on for quite some time, and that needs to stop.
Right. And from my experience, and it was rather upsetting. When we had Christian Roy, who went to Duke, one of the gentlemen who was I won't say names, but he was able to increase star ratings. All he asked me was how many schools are offering him. And I told him how many schools. And then he said, oh, he's a 3-star. We'll make him a 4-star because of that. I said, nah, we won't. What did you see on film that makes him a 4-star? Right. And the reason why I say that and I speak like that to parents is because the expectation that comes with stars from coaches is when I cut on that film, I better see 4 stars. And if I don't see 4 stars, then I'm moving on to the next candidate.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes when you see players who do have stars, and let's say the stars are more because of popularity, the film has the match. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because you actually spoke about, film and sending film. The question I have is, where should parents send film to? Like, so say right now, I got a kid and he's good, or say like a Thomas, and I'm like, who do I send my film to so he can be seen? Who can I get him evaluated by?
Well, the problem is, you for the parents, they can send the film to Rivals, 24/7 Sports, On3 Recruiting. But the problems that I've run into, because I've sent film for kids that were legitimate, you don't get any response. They don't rank the kids, and so you're basically wasting time. So if parents send the film to one of those 3 or all 3 of those recruiting organizations, the chances of them actually looking at the film and giving them a star rating is limited or slim to none. So they have a monopoly on the recruiting organization, and a lot of it's based on politics as to which kids get stars. And once again, the kids in the state of North Carolina have been done a great injustice.
Yeah. And because I say it I say things all the time, and I have my philosophies behind it. I want to hear someone else's who's long tooth in the game. What would you suggest a coach do? Because every coach doesn't know either, and I'm not saying that as a slight. Coaches are worried about their kids performing on the field, but what does a young coach do that doesn't have the connections? What can he do to help create exposure, in your opinion, for his program?
Well, he can. What I suggest to a young coach that's new in the game, or don't put your film of all of your college prospects on Twitter, because recruiting now starts on social media. Put it out there on Twitter. Have someone on your staff send film weekly of all of your college prospects to schools every week, regardless of what level, from Power 4 to NEIA. You should have someone designated, or a couple of people designated, to send film each week, game film to schools each week. And because part of the biggest part of getting recruited is name recognition. If coaches or schools don't know about you, you may get passed by the wayside, but you got to keep your weekly film out there on social media, as well as sending it to schools.
Right.
That's a must.
And
also,
go ahead.
The season ends, your college prospects need to participate in colleges, university prospect camps. You don't have to try to make every camp, but you need to go to a couple of camps of schools that have expressed interest in you, or if they haven't, if you were given an opportunity, you feel you could play at that level, but you got to get out there and get seen.
Right. Yeah. And exposure is king. I made a post about it on my Facebook page. You guys can go look in it. If you don't get exposed, then you're not going to get an opportunity. I'm not even going to sit here and say, because there's so many student athletes playing football. It's overwhelming for coaches. So you got to do something to stick out and be able to be seen. So then now with you saying that with the coaches aspects, what is your suggestion? Like I said, I always give my opinion. I love the fact that I have somebody else that can give their professional expertise. What is your suggestion to parents like mom and dad? Because let's say they don't have as active of a head coach that they would like. what do you suggest for them?
The parents can send the film to the schools themselves, or they can contact, people like me and you, and we send the film, but the parents can send the film to schools. You don't have to be a coach to send your son's film to schools.
Yes.
You just go to whatever school website, click on the coaching staff link, and send it to either the position coach or recruiting coordinator to get your son's film out there. And I suggest the parents can do that also, to take some of the burden off the coaches.
Yes. Great idea, because the one thing I can say is, for parents who want to be involved in the recruiting process of their child, I promise you, if you volunteer to handle film or, do this for not just your son, but others, I promise you there's not a coach that's going to tell you no.
Absolutely.
Because it is a daunting task to do, and not saying that you don't want to do it, because of course you do want to do it, but it's a lot that goes into it, and recruiting happens during the season. So film needs to be out now. So as games are happening, as big games are happening, and your student athletes are doing well, it should be sent out. So with that piece being said, film evaluation is also key. And so Coach alluded to sending film to himself and sent film to me. I would always suggest, and even if it's not specifically the head coach, if you can get an assistant coach to look at the film before you send it, because as quickly, I'll put it to you like this. When I got a chance to coach at Shaw University, for those who don't know, Shaw University is a D2 HBCU here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had in my email, in a day anywhere between 1,900 to 2,000 different emails that I had to get through to just see a prospect. I am telling you, you do not watch the whole tape. Rarely do you watch the whole tape. The only time you watch the whole tape is if the first 5 to 10 plays pique your interest. Then you may continue to watch it. You don't need a 7-minute highlight tape. Coach, give your opinion on that.
Absolutely. You made a key point, and I didn't mention that a few minutes ago. We only, on your film that you send to schools or coaches, you only need the highlights. So you need to take the time and look through your son's highlights. And the first minute and a half is crucial. So when I look at your son's film, for example, that first 30 seconds, a minute, I need to see some highlights, because if I don't see any highlights, I'm not going to continue to look at it. And that parallels over to the collegiate level. Coaches look at it, they don't see highlights, they're going on to the next film.
You get probably 5 plays at most to pique an interest. And if you don't pique that interest within those top 5 plays,
you're done.
You can forget it. And so it's important to know the order of your plays. One of the things that I do, and I'm sure also Coach can do, is he can look at your highlight tape. You may have the film, but you may not have the order. Right. When I cut your first play on, something has to make me go, damn, flat out. And I'm not damn. And then that'll take me to the next play to see if it's legit. And if I see, okay, it's legit on that second play, then I'm 2-3 more plays. And then now you're on the board to where, hey, we need to reach out to this guy. Absolutely. But if you think like just a pass rush without the sack is a highlight, that ain't a highlight.
Yeah, that's not a highlight.
That's not a highlight. Or if you throw a deep ball and then your receiver happens to drop that deep ball and you're a quarterback, but the ball was pretty, it was on the money, but he dropped it, still not a highlight.
Yeah, that's not a highlight.
I think we need to come up with a list of that, Coach. I think that would be pretty funny. Like, yeah, that's not a highlight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because a lot of guys will chop up film and think that because you like it, that's what a college coach is looking for. But there are very specific things. And before we can go over a few, because let me look at the clock. Okay, we got a little bit of time. So, Coach, in your experience, we talked about quarterbacks, because every quarterback wants to show that they can throw the deep ball. In your experience and your expertise, what do you want to see within those first 5 plays from a quarterback?
Yeah, not only can he throw the deep ball, can he throw the short and medium range balls on target in traffic?
Mm-hmm.
Because every pass is not going to be a home run. It's not going to be a deep ball. So I need to see for quarterback prospect if he can pinpoint the short, medium passes more so than the deep ball.
Yes, sir.
Because over the course of a game, the bulk of his passings, his throws are going to be the short and medium range throws.
Absolutely. We want to see slants. We want to see digs.
Right.
We want to see that out and not throwing an interception, because that 5 to 7 yard out on a dime is tough. You know, can you throw that corner route? Those are the routes that, you know, people want to see. Throwing it deep, that's nice, but we want to see that inner. How many deep balls do you see in a college game, guys? You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. And when you do see them, they're spectacular plays. Like most of your money is made in between, you know, 15 and below. So yeah,
that's want to see if he can make that short intermediate throw against a good DB. Can he pinpoint it? Because if he can't pinpoint it against a good DB, that DB is either going to break it up or pick it and head the opposite direction.
That's it. And so what else do you want to see from, let's go with the wide receiver. So this time we'll go with the offensive side of the ball. Next time we talk, we'll give advice on the defensive side of the ball. So from the wide receiver, what do you look for from a wide receiver?
What I look from a wide receiver is he running well-defined pass routes. Can he make that separation from the DB long enough to make the catch? Is he willing to go across the middle and catch in traffic? Anybody can run down the sideline and catch a ball with no coverage. I want to see if you got the guts to run across the middle, make the catch knowing you're going to get hit. And that's what I look for. And like, of course, the pass route running his hands. Can you catch in traffic?
Yeah, definitely.
That's key.
Yeah. And you should, young guys, you should ask for that. Ask for those intermediate routes, ask for those comebacks, ask for those type of routes, because you want to put that on your film. 1-2 deep balls, unless you're, you know, mossing somebody, you know what I mean? Like Coach said, we can see you run, we can see that anytime. But running that intermediate or that, let's say that comeback 12 to 15 and showing that you can keep your feet in bounds, that's what people want to see. That's where the money's made.
And also, Coach, one other thing on the wide receivers what I look for, are you willing to block when the ball's not coming your way? Because, a lot of receivers, as far as all they want to do is catch. But in order to play at the next level, you're going to have to be able to block when the ball's not coming your way.
Yeah, Coach, it can't say that he can't say it any better, because you will have once a school likes you, they're going to ask for your best whole game. Right. The reason why they're asking for your best whole game is what Coach said. They want to see what you do when you're not involved with the play. So if you're not coming off the line 100%, and then they can say, okay, well, as a college coach, you can identify when you're getting the ball versus when you're not getting the ball just by your stance. Oh, he must be about to run a route. Why? Look at his stance.
Right.
and so for some of you guys who don't want to do that part of the game, I promise you, it sticks out like a sore thumb. As soon as you come there, your body language will tell. As soon as you break the huddle, whether it's a pass or a run, or whether you're the target or you're not the target. So
that's right.
Pay attention to that. Coach, let's talk about O-line before we get out of here. So on the O-line up front, the big guys, and then before Coach goes, I'm telling you guys this. O-line is the first off the board. I promise you that. Anybody who argues anything different, I'm telling you, I promise you, O-line is first off the board because it's hard to find these guys. Like, it's really hard. And for those that don't understand, you are more meticulous about your O-lineman than you are probably about anybody, because you can't do anything in the game without them. So, Coach, what are you looking for in an O-lineman to where you can say, I will go ahead and promote this film?
On the O-line, looking for footwork, technique. Is he able to control his man, drive blocking, run blocking? kids, O linemen that have defined footwork, technique, upper body strength. I promote them. Promote them for next level.
Yes,
they're hard to find. You'll find some that are great physical stature, but lack in technique. But if you have one that's a combination of physical stature, upper body strength, and technique, he's gone.
He's out of there.
Yeah,
I mean, immediately.
Yeah, no brainer. Especially if you are a center and you got your technique down, because centers are a hot commodity.
Yes.
A good center, he's not going to stay on the board.
At all. And so in my promotion to offensive lineman is understand what coach is saying. Be the total package, and I promise you won't wait long for a scholarship opportunity. No, and so that also means work on your feet. Your footwork is key. That's the first thing they want to see, how you fire off the ball, and then your leverage, because offensive line is all about leverage. If you're standing straight up, then they probably won't give you an opportunity. But for guys who know how to fire off and shoot their hands, and they're driving bodies off the field and got a little nastiness to them, you won't wait long. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. But so with that being said, and finishing this up, guys, I appreciate everybody who has taken the time to tune in to First and Goal 365 podcast, and Coach and I will do this again. And if anybody would like to join, by all means, if you are a coach, if you're a player, if you are a fan, then you want to just talk ball, hop in with us. Once we get done with the player highlights, the floor is open. As you've seen at the bottom, there's a number that runs there. Most people, because I also have a radio station, most people never call. They talk to me after it's over, but call in. We want to hear your opinion. We want to talk ball, high school, college, pros, whatever you guys want to discuss, we're open to it. And when we get back and do this again, we'll have 3 more guys. We'll get 3 more guys. If you know somebody, please don't hesitate to DM me or hit up Coach. Coach, how do we get into contact with you?
You can reach me on Facebook Messenger, or you can reach out to me on Twitter. I have my email address, mobile number on Twitter. Also, you can reach out to me on Twitter Messenger.
Cool. And once again, for the last point, please, before you send out a highlight tape, if your coach does not get to it and you just want to get somebody to put some extra eyes on it, once again, DM Coach, DM myself, and we will help you as best as we can, and make sure that the footage that you have going out, put your best foot forward, because we want to see everybody have the best opportunity. So that concludes today's podcast. As always, don't compare, compete, and follow us both. Coach Ed Brooks. No, I'm sorry. This is not Coach Ed Brooks. This is Ed Brooks, and then I'm Coach Kim Blocker. So follow us on social media, and we'll follow you back. Peace.
All right, later.